What's up, guys? It's Cole with See-Through Panel, showing off Heaven's Door by Keiiche Koike, published by Last Gasp and retailing for $20. This is a collection of short stories written and drawn by Keiiche Koike and read right to left in a manga style for the majority. I will show off before I get too deep into it this really cool fold out. And a cutout at the front. So that's actually three-dimensional. But the art style in this book, before I get into the story, is very reminiscent of Katsuhiro Otomo from Akira mixed with Mobius. And those are two inspirations that Koike has openly talked about being very big in his work. And they are very noticeable, I think, as you get to some of the more hyper-detailed stories here. Very Otomo on this page. Especially the way he draws kids and figures. But on something like this, the way the shading around faces is a dead giveaway for me when comparing something to Mobius, because he would always go from that nice clean style, as you see here, to a hyper-detailed, heavily shadowed face, like there. And so those are really what this book looks like, but he definitely has a style all his own, and I really enjoyed watching it change through each story, because it seems that these were published pretty far apart from each other in terms of time. I believe there's... maybe it's the back. Yeah, so we got things ranging from 85 to 2000 on these, so, or even 84 to 2000. So a huge range and a really lot of progression as a storyteller. And they're not actually chronologically ordered, so you're seeing things in the middle that are him at his most current. Story-wise, they are very psychedelic stories. Many of them feel very personal. To me, they feel very almost autobiographical. Other ones are completely fantastic and kind of have a dreamlike quality to them. Even the ones that are the most psychedelic and harder to define and to explain and to understand, I think resonate emotionally. I think the themes that he's getting at and the ideas that he's getting at definitely come through even when you're getting a little lost in the fever dream kind of storytelling that's going on in some cases, which I think is really cool. I think it's interesting that it's still easy to understand but quite difficult to follow at times. The big thing that really changed my mind about the production of this book is it's pretty standard paperback, has nice spot varnish on the front, and this fold out was really cool. But the smartest choice they made was that we're going right to left here, but then the last two stories warn you that they are read left to right, and it directs you to flip to that back of the book and read the last two stories left to right. Which I thought, from an actual design perspective, this worked really well, because you always know when you're switching back and forth. So that's really smart. And the with the fold out and the cutaway and everything, I think, this is a really well designed paperback, especially for $20. This had to be fairly expensive to print this way, so I really enjoyed this. I really was happy to have it in my collection. It was supposed to come out originally at the end of 2019, but got delayed, and then COVID hit, and so it was delayed for, I think, at least until late 2021 or early 2022 when it finally came out. It was definitely worth the wait. The range of storytelling in here is enormous. Very personal stories to outright fantasy, sci-fi things, and then a lot in between. A lot of adult stories, I will say. In concept, I don't think there's any nudity or anything like that, but the concepts are very mature and very complex. I think Koike has a really good way of expressing himself through ideas, even when you could be getting very easily lost in the complicated narrative that he's telling. Because both his writing and his art can be very psychedelic and difficult to follow at times. Let me find a nice collage type page. This story at the end has a really kind of retro comics feel when you're reading it in very small panels, which he likes to do, which I really, really enjoyed. In a more simplified style, left to right here. Just chapter 1, 2, 3, only getting 2 pages for each story here. And he does that a similar time when you're going right to left for the... I guess I can check the table of contents for this. There's a nice page, though. Just the opening page for the book. But, let's see what it is. The Ronin in the Sea. This one has a similar storytelling where it's just, 4x5 panels, ridiculously jam-packed with storytelling in a much more simplified style, obviously, because of how many panels there are. But I also love the way he combines panels sometimes to make a larger image. In this one, it's even more different. And so he's really putting on a display of his writing and drawing and storytelling in general. And the book itself is really, really well built, and I enjoyed reading it very, very much, especially after waiting probably around 2 years for it to come out. So I would recommend it. As far as I know, it's still in print and available on Amazon. Last Gasp is not the largest publisher, so I'm not sure how many people even have this book. I love that he also calls it a drug in paper form, which is very true. But I really enjoyed it. If you guys have it, let me know what you think about it in the comments. I haven't heard a lot of talk about this book. If you don't have it, I would really recommend it if you're into this kind of more ethereal, dreamlike stories, and the manga style that he shows off here is very, very unique, but also manga enjoyers would really be fine with this. It's not too far off from your normal fare. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Peace.